Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is Tyler, also known as the Ches, and this is Chezzy Jones, where I try to bring humor and entertainment to the EDM space. And it's time for another compilation, baby. Hold on, you ready for this? It's that easy, baby. The more and more videos I make on this channel, the more and more I think compilations are my favorite thing to react to. They're some of my favorite videos that I've done. And also the turnout for compilation videos is always good because it's the best way for me to connect with producers, especially underground producers. You know, not a lot of people are checking out these compilations, or at least not reacting to them and just putting more eyes on the underground scene. And so I really like to be able to do that, and also just meet and interact with more underground producers. So I'm very excited to be doing that once again today. We're going to be checking out the brand new Neoluminum compilation, Aphelion II. And that's assuming I pronounced everything correctly. And we'll just read the description on SoundCloud here. We're very happy to present Aphelion. It might be Aphelion. Aphelion 2, our new 17-track compilation album. This collection is packed full of melodic bangers ranging from color bass, dance house, rhythm, jazzy chill hop, and tons more genres to explore. If you read this, you're very handsome. Stop. But I'm very excited to dive in, and we've got three people on here from my Discord that I consider myself friends with, kinda. We've got ESKVY, Easy Password, and you have it here. Ranunculi? It's in your bio and I can't pronounce it right. Ranunculi is L-A-I, lie? I'm just gonna call you Gurk. So if you're one of the other producers on this compilation and want to join the Discord along with those talented folks, there's a link in the description. I'm even starting up some nice producer competitions where you can win some prizes. You have a better chance of me checking out your stuff in the future. We've got a playlist that features anyone in the Discord that makes music. There's a lot of benefits to being in there. I'm just saying. And even to the non-producers watching this, it's still worth your time, I promise. I genuinely want to form a community in there. I have a lot of members, but I want to make it more active. I want it to be a fun place to hang out and talk about music and just chill and hop into calls and listen to things, discuss things. So if you're someone that would want to be a part of this community and help me build it up, please join. I'd really appreciate it. But without further ado, it's time to hop into this thing. This is Aphelion II. The first track is Something More by Veryfakeguest featuring samuraiowl. Start with some nice melodies. Nice piano. Really good starting vibe for this. It's already brought me in a little bit. We're building, we're adding layers. Ooh, and singing. Yeah, I love the layers of this. It feels very full. Let's get started, baby. Colorful. Oh, going halftime, and they got the lyrics, the vocals back. I love some big booty shaking bass music, I really do. But I also really appreciate people that can make some beauty, craft some beautiful stuff. This is beautiful. Okay, I will say that little tiny verse didn't feel quite part of the song the way I would like it to, but it was still fun. I do like the diversity of the track. It keeps on switching things up, keeping the interest. Ooh. I like the way the kick and the snare feel. They're subtle. Interesting to make the second drop the more subtle one. I feel like most songs would flip it around, where it starts subtle and then ends on a more abrasive note, but I'm not mad at that. Okay, yeah, I'd say we're off to a pretty solid start here. I'm just a sucker for pianos and just beautiful soundscapes that still also provide some sort of release. Just things that are pleasant or gentle on the ears. Any sort of melody that just appeals to me. It was just really lovely. I think it was all crafted very well, very clean. I don't really have many complaints. If anything, it's from the vocals. Not like the talent of the vocalist rather, samuraiowl, I would assume is the one singing. But like I said, during the middle section, the bridge there, it just felt slightly out of place. There wasn't anything wrong with the talent, but just maybe the way it was incorporated, or maybe the notes that were sung could have been changed. I don't know. Something about it felt slightly off, but only slightly. It didn't like take me out of the song. But if I had to complain about something, I have to complain about something. That would be what it is. Other than that, you did great. Next up is Noveci, SuperZrussell, and Freezi with that little smiley, that bitch. But this is Triforce. Oh, okay. It's the weird way it's mixed. It sounds like I'm in the room and someone's playing a game a few feet away from me. That was interesting. It sounded like you were playing it out of a speaker and recording it. Sounds like we're getting some colory basses. Show me the rainbow. Yep. Nice little fill. Yeah. Fills really elevate a song if you do them right. Every fill was unique. Every fill added some character, kept it from getting stale. And I get it, it's Triforce because there's 3 of you. That's next level. Love me a little solo baby. A little solo baby, just a baby all by themselves. Oh. Yeah. I don't have a lot of words to say for some reason. Yeah. Oh, I like that bass and that little fill there. That was nice. Ooh. Yeah, okay. I have said on record that color base and styles similar to it are not usually my thing. Just the general sound of color base synths don't usually appeal to me. I feel like some of them blend together a bit. So you do have to kind of do something to elevate it beyond just the typical color base formula. But I think the fills and the percussion and just those extra melodic elements definitely did help elevate it beyond a traditional color based song. So usually if someone's making color based, they do have to work a little extra hard to grab my attention. And I think you did. I think you did grab my attention. I think you did pretty well. You were fighting against my preferences here a bit. So you had to lift a heavier load, so to speak. But you did good. You lifted it. I think it was produced nicely. It's still not completely my thing. It's not my style usually that I gravitate towards, but I think you executed said style very, very well. Good work. Next, we've got coremind and easy password with inversion. I've only heard a little bit of easy password, but you are in the Discord and I did like what I heard. So I'm excited to hear more from you. Let's go. Pretty high pitched synth there, but nice little melody. Okay, I like the layered notes there. That was nice. Because I don't think that melody was doing much for me. But everything else, that was cool. Ooh. Ooh, this bassy synth kind of squirming around a little bit. Got me wriggling. This is creative. I think there is a certain level of chaos that I'm not a fan of. It's getting a little too much going on. It might be like one too many layers or something for my ears. It's starting to like, I can't focus on one thing. It keeps my ears engaged, but it's almost like, ooh, should I listen to that? Should I listen to that? So it becomes like a distraction to itself almost, if that makes any sense. Despite all the layers, they all come through very cleanly. They're balanced quite well, so good work. These songs have all been very full. They've sounded very professionally presented. I'm impressed. because a lot of times with more underground artists that I'm not familiar with, even if they have the creativity, you could sometimes tell there's an amateur nature to the mixing of things. But I don't feel like we've really gotten that so far, so good work. Let's go. Snare's a little loud here, a little too punchy, or yeah, mainly the volume of it. I think the synth could maybe also use one more layer more in the mid-range, still playing the same note, but like, okay. The melody for a lot of this seems a bit random, like it's a solo, but it doesn't feel, I want a solo, like it's gotta hit those certain, either a certain note or certain series of notes that's like, oh, that's the note, oh, like it really pays it off in a nice way. And I don't feel like any of the more solo-y sections did that. They didn't feel out of place or like off key or anything, but there wasn't ever a satisfying riff for my ears where it was like, oh, woo, that's it. I mean, the final note's good. All right. So I was definitely nitpicking that one very harshly, but I do want to say, like, it's not a negative opinion of that song at all. I don't have a negative opinion of that song. I'm just trying to provide whatever critiques or feedback that I can. I think on paper, all the concepts that were presented were really good. I think the actual synths themselves were good. I just think the chaoticness seemed to be a bit more on the chaos side rather than on the, like, inspired chaos side, if that makes sense. Like things seemed a little bit sporadic rather than just lively. Hopefully that makes sense. I don't know. It didn't seem like there was quite enough purpose or reason for the chaos at times, whether it was the solo of the melody or that the first drop being a little chaotic. I wanted more like organized chaos, and I feel like sometimes it got a little out of hand. But still, very good, produced very, very well. And it might just be a me thing. But either way, I still approve. Easy password, you're still doing great things. And coremind, I mean, clearly your mind is pretty core. Next up is Skeredy with Wrong Number. My bad. Okay, good. Sometimes I lose the tempo of the song. I need a little metronome type thing going on. Help me keep the beat. The heck is this, like a color D&D almost? Very unique, but the coloriness, the bubbliness that color base brings is not my type of thing. I have a harder time judging it because I'm a little biased against it, but I haven't heard this, so that's cool. I think it's because I still don't understand how you make the watery, bubbly noises. It adds a nice flavor, a nice texture, but I don't know. It's because I guess I'm just so wet myself on a day-to-day basis that maybe I like the more drier songs. I don't like getting out of the shower and being damp and then putting clothes on. Ugh. So maybe it just brings back a very wet memory in my mind, and that's why I lean away from it. I love the really stripped down, you guys know how to be gentle and just, make use of the volume, make use of the dynamics. I like that. There's effort being put into each piece of these songs, and I really admire that. Some people don't do that. Let's go. Yeah, I have not heard anything like this. Oh, whoa. Yeah, so different. Yes. I'm sorry, I don't know what I'm doing.
Dude, I already told you, this is the wrong number. I've told you 27 times. Stop trying to call me. This isn't Little Caesar.
Who calls Little Caesars? You just walk into that place and get the $5 pizza. You don't need to call ahead. You just walk up in that hoe. That's your fault. But yeah, I think that was really, really unique. I don't frequent color bass and things of that nature, as I've said. So maybe I just haven't been put on to many songs that sound like that. But I found that to be pretty unique for me, something new for me to consume. Again, it's not the style that I'm into, so I'm judging it more objectively. I think it's creative, and I think it's produced very well, and it did some very cool things, and I was pleasantly surprised by it. But of course, still just not my genre of choice. But I think people should definitely check that out. Genuinely, everyone I've come across so far, all of you guys, I need to keep up with and see what you're putting out. Or you could join the Discord, and I could keep up with you that way if you want. You could join the Discord and make a cool community with me and like participate in competitions and like be my friend and stuff. You could, hypothetically, if you wanted. Anyway, next up is Sefaro with Together. One of these has to be a stinker, right? One of these has to be a stinker. Who's gonna be the stinker? I like the lower synth. Might be the same synth, but the lower notes are satisfying. Satisfying intro. Again, the production is very well done. Everything's full, the space is being used. Oh. I like that bass. Makes me want to strut down the catwalk. Give me a cool drop. All right. I think that main synth, I don't have a problem with the synth, but because it, repeats that note so many times, it starts to get a little repetitive. But thankfully all the fills and extra bits that get added in keep it fun. But I think you could have done a little more, like the second half of this changed that melody a little more. Because yeah, it's still just repeating that note. Still very cleanly made though. Production's good, but do a little more with that melody. I think this kick has a little too much of like a top end. Needs to be a little more just kind of low end. Sounds better when things are all together like this, but for a moment there is a little too coming through a little too strong. I'm really trying to nitpick here. Just to fill the time, baby. I gotta weigh in on everything with my not even close to expert opinion. I was hoping the second drop would be a little different. I think what could be cool, maybe some chords, like a more like saw wave synth chords to this second piece. Bam, bam, bam. I don't know, something like that. Yeah, and also in my head, I thought it was gonna end right there, but it's still continuing for more bars. Either trim both drops to shorten the whole song, or the second drop as a whole just need to be completely different, because it definitely starts to wear on you. That it gets a little repetitive in your head because it's a repetitive note with the synth not really changing much. So it definitely starts to, you feel it lingering a bit. It gets a little stale by the end. But from the actual production standpoint, I think it's presented very well. I don't think things were out of whack or mushy or muddy or anything like that. I think it was presented very cleanly and lovely. I think there just need to be a little more diversity to it. Change it up a little more style to the second drop, or like I said, just shorten it all so it doesn't feel quite as repetitive. But either way, again, just providing criticism and feedback. Still think it was pretty darn good. Keep it up. You guys are doing great things, genuinely. Next up, we've got Sadisfy. Sadisfy. I like that. With Take Me Home, featuring ickumas. Okay. Always admire people that do original vocal singing lyrics, because I've dabbled in writing music, and that's a whole skill in and of itself. And interesting sounding drums. Very crisp. Hey. Yeah, ooh, the stab sound nice. I like the sort of bounciness. Yeah, the kicks are hitting in a way that kind of bounces. Cool. Oh, I had a little like bongo element. I'm a sucker for the bongos. Texture. Layers. Oh, the percussion came in. It scared me. Second drop. Let's go.
Switch.
Isn't it the best thing in music where it tells you, where it says switch and then it switches? That sounded sarcastic, but like, I really like that. When the switch is cool. Yeah, I love the bounciness of this section and the first drop, obviously. I don't think it's necessarily the one that was doing the most impressive thing production-wise or that flaunted the most creativity necessarily. I think it was just the one that was closest to my overall interests and overall preferences. So I really did enjoy it. I love the bounciness of it. I think it's got a dancey quality. It's got a little switch. It's short little half-timey switch, which is cool. I think that one's just a very solid, very serviceable, enjoyable track. I think it's fun. I think the runtime was just right. Things felt the appropriate length. I think it was just overall good stuff. Good stuff. I like your name, Sadisfy. It's cool. It's cool. Next is Proxima C by DM8 and Ireyte. I've seen both those names before. I couldn't tell you where. I'm not going to do the research at this very moment, but I know for a fact I've seen you both. I don't know if you were together at the time or I've seen you separately. Maybe you're on a different compilation or something, but I recognize the names. So let's see if you returning to my ears leaves a good impression or continues to have a good impression. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway. Good. Good intro. Ooh, I like this. I like that synth. Pleasant. And a nice little melody. Yeah, okay. I see something here. Ooh. This is cool. This is my favorite intro so far. All right, let's go. Ugh. Ooh, the textures of those synths. And then the little sprinkle of water in between each big beat. Yeah, this is pretty intricate. Very cool. I'm genuinely impressed by this thing so far, man. We are hitting, we are firing. Like the vocal in here, the vocal chop, whatever it is. Blah. It's tickling the things that I like. The catchiness, hitting certain notes. And I'm like, oh, that's the nice one. That's a nice one. I want to bring back that melody from the beginning, though, a little more prominently. I think this kick is also maybe a little punchy. A little too punchy. Yeah, I like this melody, though. It's simple, but like, I don't know. I don't know. I can't explain why a melody clicks for me. Yeah, this part's cool. That's a cool build. Change it up though. Waveform looks different. No spoilers, but looks different. Oh, it's so deep and gritty. Oh, I just wanted to hit with the melody, man. That's all I want. You're teasing me. Okay. Yeah. That's kind of what I was imagining in my head that it would do. But it still keep the beat going. But yeah, do some intricate and then and then get back into the that's how my head was picturing it going. So you did it, you teased it a little bit. That one got me pretty hyped. I like that. I think the first drop wasn't quite where I wanted it to be. It wasn't quite what I was looking for. It wasn't quite the release I guess I was expecting given the build up to it. But I think by bringing the melody back around in this second drop here and just like all the kicks and weird rumbliness to things, that second drop definitely elevated it a lot. But yeah, a melody I liked. I think it had my favorite intro and build so far. I like that one a lot. That might be my favorite so far. Very good work. Very good work. I need to definitely keep up with both of you guys. Next up is Revoltyx with False Sky. More watery goodness. Who doesn't love moist music? That's gonna be my label. Wet songs only. clean percussion. I think I want the main synth here that's dancing around to be a little more round, less plucky. Well, rather than but that's just a preference. I think it's still doing good things. Give it to me. Nice little fill there. Pretty. Yeah, this would go in my like, I don't know. It might be a little too eventful for my easy listening playlist. It's right on the cusp, but I have a playlist of just kind of vibey songs. And this would fit in there, I think. I have trouble really giving feedback on these kinds of songs because, like, I mean, if you set up the vibe, if it sets the mood and makes me feel kind of chill and tranquil, then that's all I'm asking. And if you accomplish that, you're good to go. And I think it's done that. So I think it's doing what it set out to do. Yeah, I guess more of a synth like this is what I wanted. Maybe not quite this round and subdued, but somewhere in between, maybe. Yeah, I just feel like I'm chilling by a river. I don't want to get my laptop wet, so I'm being cautious, but I'm still calm. My stress levels are low. Okay. Did add some variance. I like that. I like how it's kind of got the structure of like a dubstep or like a rhythm song, but the chill side of things. So it's appealing to like two different sides of my brain. But it feels kind of like random, boing, 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 rather than like an actual melody. So I like that you change it for the second half, but I don't think I enjoy the second half as much. I was less vibing. Good tones, puts me in a good mood, makes me feel peaceful, but still got enough sort of stuff to keep you engaged. It's not like completely passive ambient background music. It's got some flavor. Very nice, very nice. Next, we've got NITEMARE. I feel like there's a good amount of people named NITEMARE probably out there, but you did spell it differently. But this is Flowers by NITEMARE. Okay, I like this other instrument. Almost sounded like a brass instrument, but it's just a synth. Okay, not my favorite intro, but I'm still here. Okay, these snares, claps, whatever you want to call them, are a little, they don't feel like they quite fit with the rest of the music here. Yeah, I think it's just the snare that I have an issue with. It's a little too slappy, a little too much high end. Need a little more like mid-range snare going on. Yeah. Yeah, I think if you change the snare or tone it down, we'd have a better package overall. It's a big distraction for me, especially because it's still prevalent even after the drop. Yeah, you know how to craft a little melody. I think the structure of it, the things are like in the right place. I just think some of the sounds could be tweaked slightly. Switch. Yeah, I like that's a little bit different. Then yeah, you add another synth in here as we get halfway through the bar, halfway through that section. So you're doing the right thing. You're definitely having all the right approaches. You know how to keep it engaging. You know when to move on to the next thing, when to break out of things, when to add a layer. But yeah, I think just the mixing could be a little better, and then that snare. Overall, pretty good presentation. Could use a few little touches on there, but I think it's still quite well produced. Keep on doing your thing. All right, Gak? What did I call you? What did I say I was going to call you? I already forgot, but ranunculi? Just send me a voice message of you saying it. Just record yourself saying your name and send it to me, please. Because it looks like a cool name. It looks like a name I'd want to say. But this is Forget Me Not. And I actually had to go back and check. I was pretty sure because the name sounded familiar. So I went back to my stream just now from a previous stream where I was reacting to your music. Like producers were sending in their tracks for me to check out. And you submitted Forget Me Not, an earlier draft of Forget Me Not. So I should recognize this song. This should be a song I've heard before, or at least an iteration of a song I've heard before. So I remember liking it when I first heard it. So I guess we're not going in completely blind for this one song. I got a sneak preview of sorts. Let's check it out again. Forget Me Not. It had like pictures of flowers or something, didn't it? I don't know. I do have a memory of this. Just a chill track, a little vibey. Yeah. And then, yeah, it's just smooth. It's very tranquil. Brings a sense of peace as well. Gotta have these kind of vibey tracks. I will say the main whoa, 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 whoa can get a little repetitive, but I don't think it overstays its welcome, so I think it's fine. It is just a chill track. I put it on for the vibes, and that is what it gives me. Vibes. Love all the instruments. It's definitely, this is the jazz chill hop, the jazzy chill hop they mentioned. Definitely cool. I don't listen to a lot of jazz, but obviously I can admire jazz. It takes a lot of talent to be a jazz musician. Really nicely made. All the different instruments being incorporated. Elevated a lot. I just yawned slightly. It's making me feel so peaceful. Getting a little sleepy. I'm so relaxed. Because it's nice that none of the sounds are too crunchy, too high in the register. Everything's kind of around, kind of smooth. So everything kind of just flows over you. Oh, bring back the jazz. Yeah, like the little hats. Yeah, this is the smoothest track we've gotten so far. You might need to wear your non-slip shoes while listening to this song. Or you're gonna have to file for some workman's comp because you're gonna fall. You're gonna slip, my guy. I don't remember what I said originally. I guess you can, rewatch that stream, but I'm sure my thoughts are pretty in line. I think it's beautiful. I think it's well crafted. I still think the the main kind of stabby thing gets a little repetitive, but because it's such a just vibey track, I think it's fine. Like it serves the narrative of the song. It still feels like it belongs in the song. So I think it's still good. I love the jazzy elements. I love all the use of different instruments. There's so much character and just, there's so much in there, despite it being so chill. There's a lot of care put in there. So you're doing great things. I've enjoyed what I've heard from you and I plan to continue listening to you. So good stuff. Now we've got another one from the Discord, baby. ESKVY. ESKVY on the track. ESKVY's got some of the best samples and the best producer tags in the game. But this is Melting by ESKVY. I love the overall sort of theme, the overall feeling that this compilation has evoked. They've had a peaceful element, a melodic element, color bassy element. Like it's all pretty cohesive. I like when a comp has an essence. I like the echoed. Ba, ba, ba. Ba, ba, ba. It's nice. Where are we headed? Okay. Ooh. I think the snares needs to be slightly different. I think that's, What? Cool synths in here, though. I like the way that sounded. Ooh. Ooh. All these songs are putting a smile on my face, man. They've all just got a charm to them. Sorry, I don't have like a ton of comments for you at the moment, ESKVY, but I'm just taking it in. Love all the little melodies. I love the piano in here. I think you're doing good stuff. You've always been doing good stuff from what I've heard. Whoa. Whoa. That was weird. Yeah, pretty much everyone on here has just had those little creative touches that intrigue you for a moment. You're like, whoa, whoa, okay. I like the way this gets mixed right there. It sounds cool. I don't know why. I'm just into it. Very nice little outro. I love when a piano is used nicely. Is that too much to ask for? A nice piano in a song? That's all you need, man. That's all you need to get me. I mean, yeah, I continue to enjoy your music, ESKVY. I think you're doing good things. Oh, got a big itch all of a sudden. I think there's a hair on my nose. You continue to impress me. You continue to do cool things. You obviously have those little creative flares and touches in your music, and that's what I look for with any artist, any producer, any piece of music. Just add a little style in there, and you did that. You did that. You do that. You will continue to do that. And so you have my approval. What more do you want from me? Next up is V with blurring. Okay, nice little melody for me. Okay, it's like a kind of chill dancey beat, a vibey dancey beat. It reminds me of Ghost Voices by Virtual Self, Porter Robinson. I guess just the sound of that synth is similar, and since it's descending. Piano, hey, nice piano. Were you listening? You cheater. Y'all are doing stuff. Y'all really be making music. What the heck? I will say maybe that middle section could have, I don't know, a little more something. There wasn't a whole lot going on. I feel like a little more interest could have been added. And now we've kind of had a very similar build to the first, but it looks like this drop will be different at least. I don't think this melody is quite as catchy, but I get what it's going for. Definitely prefer the first half, but we changed it up, and that's all I ask. Yeah, more vibey stuff. Just good vibes coming out of this compilation overall. I think there could have been a little more added to that one, maybe. I mean, it is supposed to be subtle. It is supposed to be, chill vibes. But I still feel like, I don't know, a little extra substance could have been thrown in there to just add a little flair, but still good tonality to it. Produced well. Yeah, just a little more character, I think. And we would have been there. We'd have crossed the threshold. Next, we've got NI10, NI10 could also be a weird way to spell like Neo. One of those, hopefully, is correct. And you made the song Biosphere. Okay, a little bit of vocals. They're more of a distraction, though. I guess they kind of fit. I don't know. I don't know how to feel about them. But I like the progression. We're getting more clear, getting more intense. Okay. A couple of them, for that matter, now I think about it, sound kind of alien, sci-fi, very spacey. This feels like a kind of cybernetic sci-fi adventure kind of thing. I don't know how to say it. That's what it's giving. I know I said a lot of words there, but that's what it's giving. I feel like something different not quite so atmospheric for the bridge. Could have been better. Had a more distinctive melody or something to catch people's attention, maybe. Okay. Kind of a cool little fake out. Yeah, I think your builds are cool. Yeah, there's some nice little details being added. Also, I like where the snares are hitting in my ears, the way they're mixed. This isn't the type of music I listen to very frequently. It feels more like soundtrack music. It feels more like a video game score. It feels like an intense boss music in like a sci-fi environment or some sort of space-themed level, like a bullet hell game or something. It's giving me a very specific vibe, which would perfectly match in that scenario, but it's not something like I'm throwing on myself. I think it's very well crafted for a very specific thing, and it would like hit on all levels and be so suited for that environment. So I think it's executed quite well. Again, I think the bridge, maybe something more interesting could have been done with it. I feel like it was a little like forgettable, but yeah, I love the style of the drops, even if it's not like the type of music I'm going to throw on myself. I think it was still executed well. I think it's really going to resonate for some people. So good stuff, good stuff. Next up, we've got SIDRONE. SIDRONE with It Rains Without You. Well, that's a little sad. Unless you really like the rain. I don't know. Maybe we're in a drought. Maybe you need to leave. We need the crops to be watered, all right? Get out of here. I think this main plucky synth has like too much frequency, too much mid or low range or something, so it's kind of cutting into other stuff. Okay, it's gone now. And it almost feels weird that it was there and so prominent and then it was just gone. So just take it out or make it more subtle. Hey. Still feels like a part of the comp, but feels more like a, I don't know, a normal song, like an R&B song or something, which I like. I'm saying that in a good way. Okay, we are getting a build. What is this breakdown? I was not expecting that at all. What the heck? That was way more, that had more oomph than I was expecting. I think it didn't feel earned, maybe? I don't feel like this destination matches the journey to get here. I think the setup could have been done a little bit differently. There could have been a more interesting transition into it, so it felt more like, oh, I see what's coming. Because it almost feels like it comes out of nowhere upon initial listen. Maybe if I listen to it again, knowing it's coming, it would make more sense. I do like this breakdown, though. I think it was cool. I'm just like, well, how did we get here? It was a pleasant surprise, but emphasis on the surprise. So because of the structure of it, I feel like it comes off as like a proof of concept or like a demo more than like fully complete, in my personal opinion. Because like there was no real outro. And again, the transition from the opening into the drop felt strange or not. Let me go back. Let me listen to it again. Let me just listen to the transition of this drop. Yeah, it feels odd. Like, it's a cool release. I like the way it releases, but it doesn't feel expected. And not in like a bad, not like a, oh, it's like, oh, it's like confusing that we landed here. So I think just something with the build-up needs to be changed, or like a semblance of what that main synth is going to be in the drop needs to be present. Like something needs to be different. And then maybe just a little outro, a little outro of some sort would have, I think just an actual outro of some sort would have tied it together more, put a little bow on it. But I do really like that breakdown. I think just the journey through the song could have been ironed out a little more so it felt more cohesive. Still good job, but yeah, I think I gave criticism that makes sense, hopefully. Next up is NIKAl and Harn with Tell Me What You Wanna Know. It's a lot of sub. Could have been a little more subtle. Subtle. Can't spell subtle without sub. I don't know why you can't. I don't know why it's spelled like that, but. Oh, there was a sound in there I liked. Yeah, that whoa. Okay, I mean, it's good singing. It felt a little jarring for a moment there, but that's kind of working. Ooh. All right, getting a little heavier. I think there needs to be maybe one extra layer in here or something. I don't know what it would be, but just something, one extra thing. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh. This kind of like higher pitched twinkling, whatever, however you want to describe that, is in a frequency that's distracting my ear a little bit. I think this has been pretty solid overall. I think, again, just needs more layers or a little more switching up, but like structurally it's cool. I think like the switch into that second drop was cool, and just the flow of it was cool. And then we get real subtle, which makes it feel a bit jarring to switch between the two intensities, but it kind of works since we transition nicely. We take our time with the transition. Doesn't just, whoa, smack us. Oh, all right, that's much more grand. We've got layers, we've got layers. Okay. I think he brought it around for that last drop. At least, I mean, it cleared up all the issues I had. It sounded more full. I don't think you needed to add another layer to that last section. I don't know if it would have been a good idea to do or not, but I am curious what it would sound like if you kind of made a mixture of the last and first drops, where it like does the like the real stabby stuff and then hits you with a like it keeps going back and forth between them. Again, it might sound stupid, but I'm just curious if you made something like that, if it would work, if it would fit together nicely. But yeah, I think you brought it around. I like that each drop was diverse. I think maybe the bridge, the slower section could have been doing a little more or something, but overall pretty solid stuff still. Second to last track is MetaHumanBoi with GamerMaster64. Okay, you immediately have my attention. Like this kind of loop that's going on. Oh, we are upbeat. Whoa. Good sense, good sense. Very upbeat energy. Very lively track. Yeah, I really like the loop here. Like it's working for some reason. Not for some reason. Obviously it's working because you made it work. But it's doing a lot for me in terms of my enjoyment. Less interested in this drop. Just not my kind of thing. Yeah, this loop is just good. It's good. Key change. Okay, got the pulse rising. Got me moving a little quicker. Bouncing up and down, bouncing up and down. Bouncing all around, bouncing up and around. Whoop, I messed up my words, but it's okay. We keep going. No matter what they say. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Melody going crazy. See, this also has a pretty chaotic melody, but I feel... Oh, that was nice. That was nice. But I don't know. I feel like some of the notes that they're hitting are a little more like, oh, hit those notes. Like I was saying with the coremind and Easy Password song, it felt chaotic just to be chaotic. For my ears, it didn't quite click in a way. I was like, ooh, oh, whoa. I think this one's doing that. I want to play this on DDR or Beat Saber. It'd probably be a really hard song, but I'd want to play it anyway. Yeah, whether you made or found this sample to loop like this, either way, definitely adds a lot to the song. So, good work or good find or whatever. I don't listen to a lot of that quickness of songs of that tempo and that energy very often, but I like it when it's executed well, and I think that was executed quite well. I didn't like that second little drop there in the first half of the song, just not really my style, but other than that, we're doing good. All the synths were good, the kicks, were hitting, getting me pumping, and then a little switch into like the 8-bitty section, and then swiping it back and pushing it back on you. It was good. That was good. And the final track is Don't Forget by Aumhina. And I'm curious if this is going to feel like a closer. I always wonder that with compilations, how much thought is put into the track order. So I'm curious if this is going to give closer energy or not. Some Miku. some sort of Vocaloid. Like all the different layered synths here. Ooh. Yeah, nice little melody. Blip, 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 blip. Yeah. I'm just vibing. I'm just vibing. I feel like maybe a little more could have been done so we don't get too repetitive during this section. I love the tone of it, but the sort of the repetitive, like the length of it, that we're not changing enough or moving on to the next thing quickly enough is my only complaint. But it also does kind of sound like a nice little soundtrack to something as well. Yeah, this little section, the little pieces of percussion doing it for me. Yeah, I think this is produced well. I just think there needs to be a bit more variation. And also this section kind of feels like we're still working towards something, maybe. Like it still feels like we're on our way to something bigger, but that could also just be the mood that it wants to invoke. Like we're working towards something. We're on our way. The journey is still in progress here. It's not over yet. There's still more to be done. But I do like the just perkiness of it, the twinkliness of it. And I do feel like it fits as a closer. I feel like it is a nice track, at least compared to most of the other songs on here. I feel like it is definitely a pretty fitting end. There's only maybe one or two others that could have filled that role in a satisfying way. So I think that's a pretty good pick for the closer there. I do think it could be a little more varied, but at the same time, I think it is more of just a vibey track. I don't think it needs to be very flashy or do anything spectacular. I think it is just eliciting some emotions, putting you in a nice little final atmosphere here to just twinkle around in and feel good. Feel good about yourself. And I did. I do feel good about myself. I mean, I did start off this video by being called handsome. It's hard to ruin my mood after that. But honestly, yeah, what a comp. What a compilation. I'm genuinely impressed. There were definitely some songs I had more criticisms of, more critiques of than others, but overall, I don't think there was any bad tracks or like really weak tracks. At worst, it either just wasn't really my style, wasn't really my thing, or just had a few more tweaks that could have been made to really get it up here. But overall, like pretty consistent. I really like the cohesiveness of everything. I feel like they all had an overall upbeat kind of twinkly, lighthearted vibe. I mean, obviously some of them were a little more heavy, but they still had this overall essence. Kind of sci-fi, kind of dreamy, kind of video gamey, kind of gives off like escapism, you know, like traveling through the stars, traveling to another little plucky world, very digital, bleepy, bloopy, fun, lightheartedness throughout. And I really like that. There are so many producers on here that I now want to keep my eye on. I want to keep up with your music for sure. Again, join the Discord, please. I want to meet you guys. I want to just connect more artists in general and do more competitions and just keep up with more music and discover more people and uplift more people. So please, you know, if you see this, keep doing what you're doing. I think you're all doing great things. I think Proxima C might still be my overall favorite, just as an entire package and what resonated with me the most. But there was so much good stuff on here. Genuinely, I'm quite impressed. I'm quite impressed. I had a really good time with it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it as well. And again, if any of the artists that were a part of this compilation see this, good work. I hope any feedback I provided was helpful for you. And please join the Discord. I'd really appreciate it. Take part in some of the challenges I've got coming up, all right? Have some fun. A quick thank you to my patrons and a big shout out to my absolute tune, Will Vegas. If you want early access to my videos, uncut versions of my reactions, and bonus content every single month, including checking out your suggestions, be sure to check out the Patreon, links in the description. Other than that, let me know what you guys thought of this comp. What was your favorite song? Who's your favorite artist? Let me know what I should check out next, and keep on jamming out, my dudes. Peace.